father's a cook, my uncle's a cook, all my cousins are cooks. So we're 12, I'm the 9th cook. I tried to be a marketing guy, it lasted 3 months.
We had a culture before the pandemic to put our staff in first place, not the customer. We believe that doing this, the staff will put the customer in first place by consequence.
Hello and welcome to Brazil is Not for Beginners. Today I'm here in person at Oseille in Rio de Janeiro with Troisgros and Andre Meisler, the founding team behind Grupo TT. We're here to talk about Brazilian food and maybe taste a few things. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Pleasure to be here. Pleasure having you.
So we're going to talk about Brazilian food, about fine dining, about botecos, pesujos, street food. But first, I would love to hear a little bit about the two of you. Maybe your background and how you guys met.
We met in 2013. I used to be his brother's partner.
Yes.
So in 13, his brother, through a friend in common, he used to have a store called Reserva Mais.
Yes.
So Reserva is a big clothing company. Reserva had this cultural store, music, and they were having issues with the music, with all the neighbors. And then one day his brother calls his friend and my father and called us like, listen, we have this place, we got a problem. We're losing food, we're not making food revenue. We got our pocket shows, we want to have food. Do you want to make a sandwich? I'm like, give me a week and we'll come back to you. And a week later we came back to his brother. And we said, listen, I don't want half of the store. I don't want 1/3 of the store. I want the whole store. Like, what do you mean? We're going to do a burger joint.
Nice.
On that same day, the store got closed. Right? You guys were like, you can't do music
We had
anymore.
some rocking shows inside.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So the
boring consultant.
right?
For sure.
So they were closed. Like, fine, the store is yours because we can't do the music anymore. So I went. So his brother looked at me, goes, "You go to New York, we'll do your benchmark and come back, and then I'll give you a month to show you what you created." So I showed them the menu, and then in 2016, Reserva got sold to a big
Hedge funds.
to a hedge fund, and it said you have to quit everything that's not clothing.
Okay. Divest.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we start scrambling, and then his brother looked at me like, I got an idea. We're gonna sell our part to my brother and my father. Because he still keeps in the family. My brother's already in the board. He already knows how the business goes. So he'll take over. And that's how we
are
became
together
partners.
since then. I've came from a bank in Brazil,
BTG, right?
BTG, right?
Yeah, some of the big ones.
And I would love to have in this time an approach with people because I did not have it in the bank,
Okay.
and it was the perfect scenario to
Very cool.
get out and enter TT Burger.
So you started in banking. You had kind of a more traditional career before, is that?
Yes. I work in private equity
Okay.
for 6 years.
Okay.
And my dream was to go to real economy
Okay.
and get out from the Excel.
But Tomas, you started also. So what is your background? So you grew up in food, right?
I come from a big cooking family. I'm the 4th generation. My grandfather is Pierre Troisgros. And he revolutionized cooking. A couple of things. So he used to live in Japan. When he came back from Japan, he did the first dish coming out of the kitchen already dressed, which was the saumon Oseille. So the restaurant's called Oseille because of this dish. We don't do it, but we use a lot of the leaf. So the first dish come dressed out of the kitchen. Everyone the same portion, same amount of sauce, same temperature.
Amazing.
In a 30-centimeter dish was Maison Troisgros. The first restaurant to do tasting menu was Maison Troisgros. But then he brought that to the Western culture. Because the Japanese culture usually has the omakase
Right.
and the kaiseki kitchen, which is already a tasting menu, following the seasons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So my grandfather westernized that.
That's pretty amazing.
The first kitchen drawers, refrigerated kitchen drawers, Maison Troisgros had it. The first Teflon pans, Maison Troisgros had it. The first induction burners, Maison Troisgros had it. So a lot of innovation happened in the kitchen. Then my great uncle was a cook. My great grandfather was a sommelier. My great grandmother was a cook. My father's a cook. My uncle's a cook. All my cousins are cooks.
Okay.
So we're 12.
No pressure.
No pressure. I'm the ninth cook. And I got the double pressure because I got my grandfather triple pressure.
Yeah.
I got my grandfather in France. My uncle is a pretty big deal in France.
Mhm.
And my father is a big deal in Brazil because he revolutionized cuisine in Brazil, using Brazilian ingredients, bringing them into the fine dining world. And now he's on TV and he's a big deal on TV. So,
Yeah, no pressure.
so I grew up in this. I tried to be a marketing guy. It lasted 3 months.
Okay.
And
I've
then
heard
I was
that
like,
as
you
well.
know what? I'm gonna try cooking since the whole family's in cooking. I didn't like it at the time, but since I'm 13 years old, 12 years old, I used to stage in kitchens.
Okay.
So I staged for Daniel Boulou in New York City when I used to live there with my parents when I was a teenager.
Amazing.
I worked for Bocuse for a week because he cooked with my father for a week in New York. So I've been doing this with my father every time I wanted something. Dad, I want a PlayStation.
Yeah.
Sure, go cook for a week. I'll give you the money. You go buy the PlayStation. This is the bread we make in house and the butter we make in house also.
Said everything from the basics, right?
Yes.
Amazing. So your journey together started with TT.
Yes.
You joined a little bit later, but I remember, so I was living here in 2013, was working in consulting. I had been living in New York for the previous
Yes.
4 or 5 years.
Yes.
And I came here and a hamburger was shish tuba
Yes.
on the street. It wasn't not very
Still is.
It still is.
Yeah. It's a culture.
Used to the burger joint and Shake Shack. But what made you
It's the whole experience there.
want to start like a burger place in Rio?
I missed it.
Okay, so you've been living in New York.
So I lived in New York from 91 to 96. Did boarding school from 98 to 99 in New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Came back to New York in '02
Okay.
to study at the CIA, the Culinary Institute of America, and to work for Daniel Boulou.
Amazing.
And there I ate a lot of burgers. Jackson Hole, Minetta Tavern, some other smaller joints. But then again, so ate a lot of burgers, came back to Brazil in '07. There was no burger scene in Rio, or in Brazil. There's some burger restaurants, but no shacks, no burger joints.
I remember when I went to Sao Paulo a little bit later, after you guys opened TT.
Zidane.
There was
Zidane.
Zidane.
Zidane is a-
Dodgy.
Yep. So that is a
My
benchmark.
favorite is St. Louis.
St. Louis burgers, yes. But so that is a benchmark also. But then, so I decided to open because there was no burger joints here.
Right.
So when his brother called me, I went to New York for a week. I ate burgers the whole day. I did some stages because a friend of mine in New York called Laurent Tourandel, he used to have the BLT steak, BLT prime, he had the LT burgers. So I went there and he said, Tomas, you can do this 2 ways. You can do everything from scratch.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have 2 restaurants, 3. Because you're gonna need a chef, you're gonna need anything. Or you take all your recipes, you take it to your purveyors, and they send you back the products, and you're gonna have 20. We're at 15 now, right? In 10 years?
Yes.
Just the burgers.
Just burger joints. So I missed the burgers here, and the whole idea was I'm gonna get everything I like from a classical burger, and try to Brazilianize it.
Awesome.
But not trying to like reinvent the wheel, but use Brazilian stuff. So let's say the best bread rolls for burgers for me in America, it's the potato breads.
Yep.
Potato roll. So here we did sweet potato roll. The cheese, American cheese, is cheese that melts really well. So I went after a cheese in Brazil that melts really well. We found the Queijo Minas Miniatura. It's a white cheese. It's aged for 20 to 30 days. And it melts really well, but the catch is it's after it's melted. It's not how it melts, but how it stays after it's melted.
Yeah.
Most cheese become tough. Not the American cheese, not the cheddar.
Yeah.
So this cheese doesn't become tough after. It's still stretchable. So it's pretty cool. Pickles, A lot of people think pickles is cucumbers, but no, pickles is a process. It's a process. It's not. It's not a specific vegetable.
Yeah,
So you can pickle anything.
Yeah.
You can pickle eggs and fish if you want.
Yeah.
So we do with chayote, chuchu in Brazil.
Ah, very cool.
The sauce, best sauce for burgers, is like the Shake Shack sauce. So we try to emulate a sauce like it. It's ketchup, mustard.
Bob sauce.
Bob sauce here, but it's ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, and pickles. Pickle water. And then the blend, Brazil is the biggest producer of beef in the world.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't have to go far. I tested a lot of blends, but it's all Brazilian beef. One product, fries, and then I love a salt and vinegar chips. I'm crazy about that.
Yes.
So I decided to do salt and vinegar chips in Brazil. That's how it was born.
Very cool. And Deco, you, like we said, were in banking, and you just like Tomas's food. What made you want to actually do this?
Tomás is a fucking genius of transform a simple product into a perfect product.
He's a fan.
Yes.
I'm listening to him.
Sure. And you can see all the products inside the burger: the potato bread, the guava ketchup.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot the guava.
The guava ketchup is a brand.
It's bigger than the burger.
Yes, it's
Every
bigger
time I
than a
travel,
burger.
people want to talk about the ketchup, not the burgers.
We have a fixed income of almost 60,000 per month selling the ketchup.
Just solid ketchup.
Yes,
That's
for supermarkets around Brazil, and we have any efforts enough to do it.
Amazing.
Yes.
But so Tomas is a genius, and that was it. He just said,
Yes.
I'm writing this.
So I was in BTG,
Yeah.
and Ginamo, the hedge fund, purchased 30% of Reserva,
Right.
and my brother must go out of the business of TT Burger, and I love TT Burger because I was in the council of TT Burger these times, and it was my time to get off and enter TT Burger. And it's a incredible journey of 10 years.
11. Oh, he's been for 10
Yes,
years.
10 years here.
Almost 10 years.
And now we have 15 stores. I entered City Burger. We have an income of perhaps 800,000 a month.
Yes.
Yeah, guys. Now this year we're gonna have 70 millions reals in
That's pretty good.
our 14 stores there. Yeah.
So that's actually a really great transition, because I want to talk to you about, I mean, one of the conversations a little bit. Talk about the restaurant business in general. Like, what is Brazilian cuisine? And I always tell the story about maybe like 15 years ago, I was watching Top Chef, which is a cooking show in the US, and it's a challenge about global cuisine, and one of the chefs got Brazilian cuisine. And he was like, fuck, what am I going to make him at? He ended up making rice and beans. He lost the challenge. We got picked off. And I remember being really upset because I knew how rich Brazilian cuisine is and how varied it is. And we have the stews from the north and the Japanese food and the Italian food and all this different stuff. And you also had this global experience. And I also feel like Brazil, probably more than the US, is a melting pot of cultures, right? So like, the US calls itself a melting pot. There's a lot of separation between the cultures. And Brazil, everybody mixes so much. It's really amazing. And you live in the US, you live in Spain, you work for all the chefs. So like, maybe first question is, what is Brazilian cuisine? Which is a really complicated one. But I'm also like, what is your take on Brazilian cuisine and the influences it gets from all these different cultures that have come from Brazil? And I'm going to pour some more wine to help you.
Brazil's a melting pot, like America is, but I think it's even more here than America. What is Brazilian food? Every state is a way. I mean, Rio Even that this other day we had this question like, what is the typical food of Rio? Feijoada? I mean, feijoada is a very African dish.
Yeah.
But like, no, you go to south of Brazil, it's churrasco, right? Beef. You go to Espírito Santo, you have the moqueca. You
Their
go to
moqueca, which
yeah,
is
their
different
moqueca.
than
It was a
northern
tomato moqueca. No, yeah. Then you go to Bahia, you got moqueca vatapá, you got acarajé. It's very diverse, but it's very fish and a lot of pepper, ahi. And then you go to the Amazon.
Yeah.
You could say the Amazon is the most Brazilian because it's very influenced by the indigenous people.
Right.
So yeah, they were here before everyone arrived.
Yeah, but like you said, it's a bit of a melting pot, right? So
Yes.
if you ask me what's carioca food, I would talk about galato salsa. I want a galato, right?
All right.
So that corn
Which is
and
very,
ham,
but which is very
like arroz and
Curitiba.
broccoli.
But it's very south
Is
of
that
Brazil
right?
too. It's very south of Brazil to eat chicken.
Arroz de Piemontes.
That's Italian.
But it's like Rio de I think the point is, I mean, absolutely, but like, I think it is this melting pot of food, right? Like, that's why I want to know about your...
Right, it's about the botecos, right? But like most of the dish,
Yeah, it's Portuguese.
yeah, then most of the dish of the botecos is from the northeast of Brazil. Carne seca. I mean, it's, so Rio is a
But
Rio
Brazil is this diversity and this fusion of cultures.
fusion,
and,
confusion, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But then, like, the state that's the most proud of their food and has everything by the book and everyone knows about it, it's Minas Gerais.
Yeah.
Yes.
Minas, they got very defined and everyone knows what they're eating.
Yeah.
Like, you're talking here in Rio, some people never ate a feijoada. And then you got the other things, which is like, we got one of the biggest Italian communities in the world. So
Yeah.
Italian food is very Brazilian,
Very
but there's
soft.
no Brazilian ingredients in it.
Mhm.
It's still true to itself. You go to the Japanese, the biggest Japanese community outside of Japan,
Yeah.
it's in São Paulo. But still, it's still traditional Japanese.
Yeah.
Different from like Peru, which has a very small Japanese community, but they blended it together with the Peruvian food, and you got the Nikkei cuisine.
Yeah.
In Brazil, you won't get those dishes, and you might get the African stuff that changed a lot. I don't know if you know this, but Brazil, 54% of the population of Brazil is African.
Yeah.
Different from America, which is 14%, 12%. And then you can get some ingredients and not preparations, which is very Brazilian, which is African. Okra
Yeah.
and the yuca.
Yeah.
Those two ingredients are the yuccas are the most important ingredient we have in Brazil.
Okay. I didn't know that.
We do everything with it.
I love it.
You can eat just the yuca.
Yeah.
Then
Right.
you got polvilho, you got farinha de mandioca, you got tapioca quebrada.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got a lot of sub products
That come from the...
out from one root.
Okay. I didn't realize yuca was brought out from Africa.
It's brought over from Africa.
Okay. Very cool.
A lot of stuff in Brazil it's not ours. You know what Terra Brasilia means? It's the earth that we can plant anything. So coconut is not ours. It came floating from Asia and someone planted. Mangoes are not ours. And there's mango trees all over the place in this country.
Yeah.
So there's some things in Brazil that's like, it seems indigenous to, endemic to us, but it came from other countries.
So when you think about kind of Brazilian cuisine and how you guys prepare your food, what are the influences? Like, what do you look for?
So the beauty of Brazil is that me, Tomás, I'm half French, half Brazilian, which
Right.
loves Asian food.
Okay.
So I have the opportunity and ability and poetic license, if you want to call
Yeah.
it that, to do whatever I want using my influences, using
That's awesome.
Brazilian ingredients, but throwing butter in everything.
Yeah.
You get one of my best friends from the cooking world called Rafael Costa Silva. He's Brazilian, but he lived in Spain for a long time, in País Basque, and he has Spanish influences from his family.
Yeah.
So his food is Spanish Brazilian. Then you can go to Fabrício from Salvador. It's Brazilian, Afro-Brazilian. You go to Mando Bufara from Curitiba. It's Brazilian, Germanish, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So the beauty of Brazil is that any background works.
I love that mix. I think that's really
I love it
unique
too.
about it, that you can do so many things. So we're in your fine dining space here.
Yes.
Which is different from the TT Group.
Yes.
Yes.
How do you think about, so we mentioned a bunch of different foods and kind of the, comida de boteco, right? So
Which I opened the
Which you also
bar
have.
4 months ago.
and you bridge this world, right? You have the burgers, which is a take on this,
New York.
also kind of a street
Experience
food,
I lived.
but also on New York, and you have this fine dining, which is probably coming from some of the family influences. How do you think about fine dining cuisine from comida rua?
So the first thing we have to agree upon is that there's no, in Brazil we like to say high-end and low-end food.
Yeah.
For me, there is bad food and good food. It
Right.
doesn't matter where you're eating it.
good ingredients, bad ingredients.
It's either well made or bad made. You can have I've
Yeah,
seen
sure.
people buy Wagyu and screw it up.
Mhm.
Do a bad thing with the Wagyu. I mean, oh, you have the best ingredient, but if you know how to cook it or use it, it's the purpose. So there's we love to say in Brazil, carne de segunda, which is there's something to beat this. It's not at this low level. It's not as a noble cut.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the filet mignon or the New York steak, or you're gonna eat the chuck.
Right.
Chuck in Brazil is considered second tier, but the cow is a cow. It's a whole cow. So it all depends how you make it and how you use it. The reason I opened the bar is that my wife used to say, Tomas, you're all over the spectrum except for one part, which is the bar. You have the burger joint, you have the fine dining, you have a steakhouse, you have a French restaurant, you have a casual, fast casual, but you don't have the low end. So my take on food is grab the best ingredient you can get
Okay.
and don't try to reinvent yourself. Just make the food taste good.
Yeah.
That's what I think a cook has to worry about. The first thing is flavor. Because there's a lot of things we call here gororoba. If you know, have you had gororoba around
My
and
wife
what
makes it all the
gororoba
time.
is? But gororoba is you just throw everything in the pot and make it taste good.
Yeah.
It's not pretty, but it's really good.
Absolutely.
So is a gororoba a bad thing? No, it doesn't look nice, but it's amazing to eat.
Yep.
It's like fried rice.
Yep.
So the idea here is I used to have a fine dining restaurant called Olymp. It was a 1-star Michelin. We were in the 50 best Latin America. We were the highest rank. We were 17. We were ranked in the world for 1 year as number 100.
Amazing.
Without doing, I didn't do a PR or anything. I just had the Olympics were here, so yeah, people came. I got fed up with fine dining, with the tablecloth, the uptight scene, and everyone is judging you. And we closed all up in 2020 in the pandemic, and I focused in São Paulo with my father. I was a business partner with my father, and we were jumping in. We were starting our franchise, thinking about franchises.
Right.
I'll get into about the TT history, about things I was totally against. TT lives off of those things we were against back then. But back to the fine dining. Creativity, if you don't keep working it, you lose it. So after 2020, I was 2 years off of that. I was saying all over the place, I don't want to be a cook anymore. I want to be a restaurant owner.
Yeah.
I was then my creativity started fading. I was like, you know what? I need this back. But I'm gonna change a couple of things that were pissing me off. That I didn't like. I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
So we decided no more tablecloth. It's gonna be an open kitchen. There's no one who's
This
like,
is beautiful.
what's the best things? What's the best seat? There's no best seat. It depends. You want to sit sideways or front way.
Yeah.
Which
You're talking about football.
Yeah, right.
It's not
Which
like
where you
the
want to
art
sit in the
corner.
stadium. So how you want to see the game?
Everything's a nice view.
Yeah. And I talked to my two right arms. The CDC, the chef de cuisine, which is Yuzo, you saw, the Japanese guy.
Yep.
He's been with me for 15 years.
Awesome.
He left and came back. And there's the maitre d', which is Clayton. He's been with me for 17 years.
Amazing.
I'm like, guys, I have full trust in you guys. We've been working together for 15 years. We're like brothers. We know how each other works. You guys know how to work with me. You guys know how to piss me off. You guys know how to unpiss me off.
How to push
you guys
my buttons,
how
how to drive me
yeah.
to one limit.
You guys know how to talk to me when I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
You guys know how to make me laugh in 2 seconds. So this place is not just for me, it's for you guys too. So the wine program thing, I really don't care. You do what you want.
Mhm.
You can try your wines, you can change your wines. I just want to taste it. If I don't like it, you'll know it. But You have clean slate. Do what you want. Same thing with user. User has the liberty to change dishes without me knowing. Sometimes I'm arrive, I'm like, so what did you change today? Let me see. Let me taste it. It's about trust. So he gets to be creative. Me too. I get to see what he's doing, and I get to.
Three of you are a team. You work.
Yes, and we got to. And there's Raimundo also, which used to be a chef de cuisine for me. He's like, chef, I'm not a people's person.
I want to stand back.
Yeah, can I just stay with you guys and I'll do all the work.
Yeah.
I'll do the mise en place, but I don't want to have.
I don't want to deal with that.
I don't want to have subordinates. I'm like, all right, no worries, man. Sure. So it's a place for us here. So
That's beautiful.
So before, usually every business you put the customers before. Here we put ourselves before. If we're not happy, we don't open.
Yeah.
If we're not happy with something, we change it. If the customer is not happy with me drinking during service or us drinking during service, we open bottles of wine, me and the other three.
Yeah.
What we're gonna drink today? We're gonna drink this.
I find on my space that, and I've talked to a lot of other content producers, it's weird to call myself that, but people that make content, like when you care about it and you're happy with it, it is better for the audience. Right? If they can tell when you're trying to make them happy versus when you're doing something that you're genuinely interested in. And if you're making food that you like and doing it in the way that you like, I'm sure that comes across.
And people that know me from before, it's like, oh my God, Tomas, you're a different person. I'm like, yeah, because I'm having fun with it.
I'm really curious about kind of the restaurant business and how you guys think about it. You mentioned that you and Decker were really against some things with TT and you came back to them. And, there's an expression, and I'm sure it works in lots of languages, that the quickest way to not be a millionaire is to invest in restaurants, right? So how do you guys think about the TT group, but Tomas also on your other restaurants? Like, are you guys approaching it from a business perspective? Are you... that goes in the spreadsheets and your business planning and you're doing the market research and you're trusting your gut.
So,
how do you think about the restaurant business in Brazil?
TT is very focused on the business,
Okay.
especially on sales, because I'm lucky to have this guy as my partner and have his brother and his father as in the boardroom.
Okay.
His brother is a marketing genius. His father is a sales genius.
Great.
Can I say this? His father is the
Sure.
VP of sales for Oracle.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I'm gonna sit down and listen to these guys. And I sell experience, food experience.
Yeah.
All right. And for me to sell experience, you have to come to my business, right?
Mm-hmm.
The experience here is for you to be. I'm not saying I'm full of myself, or I'm like the Mickey Mouse, whichever they sell. You're the Mickey Mouse, but yep. People want to talk to me here.
Yeah.
So I'm 50% of the experience when I'm not, because I'm the one who chooses the music. I'm the one talking to the customers. I'm the one
Absolutely.
creating havoc here.
Yeah.
So here's more of experience with me. For TT, the experience where you have a burger done à la minute.
Yeah.
And have that New Yorkish experience. So that's why I was against delivery, because my burger was developed to be done à la minute, not for traveling. And traveling, you lose.
There's
Shelf life
Brazilian
goes down.
delivery. Actually, yeah, I agree. I can't order a burger delivery. I actually live across the street from St. Louis, so what used to be St. Louis. That's my burger because I know I can go across the street and I can get
But
it.
now burgers it's the most sell delivery item.
I just don't like them delivered. But yeah, I agree with you.
No.
So until 2020, he created which he's going to talk about. He created a job description called Encantador.
Okay.
What's your function? You're not a server, and you're not a salesperson. Your role is to enchant people. So you're gonna eavesdrop on some conversations. Oh my God, my daughter loves this ketchup. I want to go back, but I can't buy it. Here, ketchup. Take it to your daughter.
Amazing.
or he's gonna grab he developed with the other partner, Mairi, which is she's a COO and CTO. She's really good into computing, and she developed a little thing which
System.
a system where the guy would write down here, oh this guy loves
Your team, perhaps.
or whatever. Next time he comes into the store, you love NFL.
Yeah.
He's a Jets fan. So next time you come to the store, any store, we're gonna alert that you're in the store, and we're gonna walk up to you. So how was the Jets game?
Yeah.
Probably bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
But still, we can.
Sure. You know that in 2017, I went to Santa Monica
Okay.
in the hotel and was in the pool with my wife, and an umbrella closed with me inside,
Oh, really? Okay.
and that scratched my back.
Okay.
And after that, the whole hotel during 3 days came to me. Hey, Andrea, how are you? How was your back?
Yeah.
So I forgot how they know it. It was a system running in the backyard that this information goes through all the staff of the hotel. And when I came back, I told my partner that was my lead, we must have one similar than those.
It's very American style service.
The most amazing experience I had with that was in Denmark.
Okay.
I went to Noma, which was one of the best restaurants in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I were at the restaurant, there was this guy cleaning the floor because someone dropped the glass or something. And he looks up to me, oh, Mr. Thomas, welcome to Noma. And he looked to my friend, my other two friends, and they said each other's name. And everyone that walked by us, welcome, Mr. Thomas, welcome, Mr. Andrea, welcome, Mr. Pedro. We said, sit down. Oh, we're bringing Thomas. I know you're a Burgundy fan. We're gonna bring you this wine and this wine and this wine. End of dinner. Oh, you guys want to see the kitchen, the installation? Sure. I grabbed my wine. My wine was full up to here.
Yeah.
Somebody comes with his hands in his back. Thomas, may I change your wine? I'm like, I'm still drinking. I mean, it's full. But I got something you like better. I'm like, what do you mean? Thomas, I brought you a Pilsner. I know you're crazy about Pilsen and lagers, and this one's made for us by this guy from in Copenhagen. Let me take your glass. Here's for you. And he looks to my friend. And for you, Andrea, my friend was called Andrea also. He's a cook from São Paulo. And for you, an IPA. I know you're crazy about IPAs. He's like,
How do they do this research?
so they had 3 guys that go online and look at your Facebook and Instagram and everything, and they ask everyone that was at the table, who's in your reservation? Please give me their name and last name. So that's a step above. I mean, you need a huge structure for that. TT Burger, we're not gonna do that because we don't have reservations, but he found a way to have bonding with our customers beyond this after sale when you come back.
Yes.
So that was the experience in the store.
Makes a difference when you feel that extra touch. It doesn't require a lot, but when somebody remembers me, gives me something small,
Yes.
talks and
Yes.
just treats me.
There was science.
Like you remember the
Moment.
there's a science of you remember the beginning and the end. You remember the peaks, the really
Yeah,
good
the
moment
peaks.
and the really bad moment, right? I forget the exact expressions for it. Like those are things that you remember in your head when you leave, and you're like gonna have a good remark about it because you had it. That one moment stood out and it became part of the trip. It became part of the
One time, some customers said that they liked some type of sauce. We didn't have it. Our encantador left the store, went to the supermarket, bought it, and came back with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing.
Or it was an ice cream or whatever. You know, it's a small thing for the person to tell to everyone and come back.
That's all about tribes, because in the store we have different tribes. The operational people, the clients.
Yeah.
We didn't have the commercial people, you know, the people that speak the same language as the client. So we made this
Translator.
translator. Sure. Yes.
So how you bring the experience to delivery? It didn't work for us at the time, and the burgers didn't come well, and the pandemic came.
Yeah.
Our stores were 90% on place eating, no delivery. Only 10% was of the sales. So the pandemic arrived, and our stores went down to zero sales.
Yep.
Because we didn't believe in delivery. And this guy promised the whole company that no one was gonna get laid over. So I was like, okay, so now we have to make money again.
So you're telling me also before that it was like he didn't even tell you, right?
No, he didn't tell anyone.
He said a call.
I wanted to punch him in the face through the screen. It's like, dude,
What are we gonna do?
can we before like brainstorm?
Yeah.
We had a culture before the pandemic that to put our staff in first place,
Okay.
not the customer.
Which is the culture up
Yes.
here.
So we believe that doing this, the staff will put the customer in first place by consequence, not by
If the
objective.
staff is happy,
Yeah, they're gonna treat everybody else well.
Yes. So we construct before the pandemic this culture. It was very strong in the company. So you must give an example for the people that if we die during the pandemic, we'll die together.
Okay.
Yes.
I like it.
So when you told everyone that nobody will be laid off during the pandemic, I remember that there was mothers of our staff in the Zoom that cried because all of them friends was laying off by their jobs, and they were completely in panic.
Yeah.
So when we did it, we give a message for the company that we didn't have an idea how we will survive, but if we have an idea, we will be strong to execute this idea.
Right.
So we had this idea of the Tres Gordos.
it's one thing. For Andre, he's like, he lives in the Adidas commercial, impossible is nothing.
Okay.
If you
Him
tell
and
me
Kevin
it's
Garnett.
impossible, no, it's possible. Like, it's impossible. It's possible. Make it happen. Like, okay, we'll make it
Private
happen.
equity. Private equity. He feeds on your
Yes,
challenges.
yes.
No, so he goes, Tomás, you already got the burger in your head. You already got the whole. When I showed him Tres Gordos, I'm like, it's 3 burgers, all made the same way. The only difference is 2 beef, 3 beef, 4 beefs.
Awesome.
So, gordo, gordinho, gordão, fries, nuggets, Coca-Cola. That's it.
Simple,
Well made.
but
So he looked at
Great.
me, go train the
go train, go make.
go make and train the staff.
Yeah.
In the middle of pandemic, I went to train the staff. He's like, don't worry, I'm going to put the marketing campaign on. I'm going to do the whole branding. In 1 month, we were rolling out. He called iFood.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, listen, we got a project. We haven't sold any burger for 2 weeks now, 3 weeks. We want to put this up. The thing is, for 2 weeks, for 1 month, every burger we sell for the whole pandemic.
For the first
Year.
10,000 burgers.
Burgers.
Yeah.
Every burger we sell, we're gonna revert 1 burger to the hospitals.
Amazing.
To the
So-
medics that are in the
So all
front
to the
line.
doctors, and we put iFood with our shirts, sending, and we're not gonna film it. It's gonna go viral by itself, and that happened.
It was great because our customers follow the doctors. They're all friends
Yeah.
together. So 10 days before the first day of revenue of Tres Gordos, we start to distribute the burgers for the medics that were in the front line. And when we opened the Tres Gordos, sold 3 times what TT Burgers was
That's awesome.
selling. So we noticed that we had a business model, a new business model there. Huh?
Yeah.
So we have a line of production, and in the final of the line of production, we just put different clothes in
Yeah.
the burger. No?
So we got the staff is there. So what we learned with all
Product
this
there.
thing, the product is there, the staff is there. if we're not opening a new brand,
Yeah.
the maximum that's gonna happen is maybe put a new kitchen equipment
Yep.
and hire one more person. Obviously, doing the branding and the clothing, the roupagem we call in Portuguese.
If it sell well.
If it
If
sells
it
well.
don't sell, if
And
it
the
don't
cool
sell
thing
well,
is, if it doesn't
you
sell
don't need
well, you can close down that brand and throw a new brand.
Right, you're in the same space. You're
You're in the
already
same
utilizing
space,
it.
you're not losing anything.
That's awesome.
So it's complementary to the TT burger world. And we were scared of putting the smash burger on the TT menu because of people stopped buying the big burger and stopped buying the small burger, and we bankrupt the company.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we were shooting on one thing and we hit another.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had this fame in Rio, we still have it, that the TT burger is too big. It's a 200 gram burger. Now it's 180, but it used to be a 200 gram
It's a
burger.
good
It's a
burger.
big burger.
Yeah, but you want them
And
one burger.
A lot of women complained it was too big.
Okay.
So when we did the Troisgros, like, you know what? We're gonna grab these customers that we lost, and now we're gonna have them in the company, but eating different brands. What happened is that a lot of people that at ATT Burger didn't know Troisgros was ours. So
Because
there's
we
like
were afraid to tell everyone.
He wanted to put my last name, like, don't put my name. Who knows will know, because Troisgros is
Yes.
foie gras.
Yeah.
But still, people didn't make the translation in their
The,
head.
the first logo had by Tomás Troisgros.
We got in a huge fight about that.
I remember hearing
Huge fight.
stories- I remember hearing stories about the Philly cheesesteaks, that the two big ones are like owned. There's the two
Same stores.
something. They're same owner, different stores, and they breed the rivalry between them because it upsells at both stores.
Upsells both, and there's a psychological thing in the human that
No, I like Tres Gordos.
that.
No, I
And the
like
other thing
Tres-
is, no, if you order TT Burger today,
Yeah.
you ate TT Burger today, and in 2 days,
I don't want to eat TT Burger again. But
someone,
I
let's say the burger, TT Burger, nah, I ate that
No.
2 days ago. Let's eat Três Gordos. You'll order it.
Yeah.
You have no idea it comes out from the same store.
Awesome.
No idea.
That's amazing.
So, like I said in the beginning, we tried to hit something, we hit another. Is that obviously we brought those person that wouldn't get TT Burger anymore, but we got our customers from TT Burger to buy from both brands in the same week.
Awesome.
Because
you
you
don't
have
need
all
them-
the step
yeah.
back
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So,
We had the CRM since 2017 with the Encounter.
Okay.
so that's how Tom Chicken got born, and that's how Marella got born. Those instead of putting those items, but now our mind changed a little bit more again. So now TT Burger is our on premises all brands.
Okay.
And then online, they're separated.
Gotcha.
And when we want to franchise the group,
Right.
each brand is a franchise. So when you open a store with 4 brands, the customer, the franchisor,
Yeah.
buy 4 franchises.
That's nice for you guys.
Yeah.
For
Yes.
franchise fees.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty solid.
Yes.
So we were against delivery. Now
And we
80%
were
of the
against
company is
franchising.
delivery. We were against franchise. In 2 years, we got 10 more stores.
Yes.
Nice. That helps.
Now we have 10
10 more
10
stores
franchise
times
stores.
4 each
Times
store.
4.
Because
Okay,
every
yeah,
store has
brand.
4 brands.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I want to ask a little bit more about the secrets of the restaurant business and how it works and kind of Rio, Sao Paulo. And again, just like everybody thinks a restaurant's going to be a good idea, and a lot of people close restaurants pretty quick. But you had something prepared for
So
us.
first, I wanted you to see the fine dining side.
I'm excited.
And this is this is very me because it mixes things I love.
Okay.
And styles. You have the Asian, which is the sashimi of scallops. You got the ponzu, which is made from coffee.
Okay.
You got the fermentation. So this is a kombucha, coffee kombucha.
Oh, man.
But we fermented for 90 days. Like this kombucha and vinegars, there are cousins.
Okay.
So I decided to let it over ferment, like it becomes very acidic. My whole lineage, family lineage, cooking, we're all, if you talk about acidity in the cooking world, automatically pops out my family name.
Okay. Is that
We're
because of the
known for the
Japanese
most-
influence?
No, that's very trois gros.
Okay.
We love acidity. We're crazy about acidity. My father jokes that I went overboard. I'm the most acidic of all of them. I
don't know if
way
that's a
too
personal
much.
insult
No,
or not.
no.
I'll take that. If
I
somebody
went
calls me a cynic, I'm
overboard.
not going to like that.
And then there's the style of presentation, which is very minimalist.
Okay.
But still, we can do a little ribbon out of daikon.
No, it's very
And
pretty.
you have one type of sorrel on this dish. This is the oxalis wood sorrel,
Okay.
which is not the same sorrel from the restaurant.
Okay.
The one from the restaurant is the one my grandfather used to use a lot. And the one chef once went with me to France, and he's a very cerebral chef, and he likes to draw and write about his dishes before.
Yeah.
And I'm more of a freestyle and throw it in there and see if it's good.
Yeah.
I like doing a la minute. And he asked my grandfather, so how did you create the saumon à l'oseille? And my grandfather's answer cracks me up until today, because he was expecting a very cerebral answer. And my grandfather simply answered, there was way too much sorrow in my yard and way too much salmon in the river.
Yeah.
I had to use it.
That's how it works sometimes. My favorite book to recommend these days has been a book called Alchemy by this guy who's...
Yes.
You've heard of it?
Yeah.
I love that book because he talks about so much about how things are not linear and they're not planned and things happen. And we always look back and rationalize it, post-rationalize how things came together. But sometimes it was because there was too much sorrow in the garden and too much fish in the river.
Same with this. I never thought, oh my God, coffee and scallops are gonna go well together.
Yeah.
Never went through my mind. I mean, first of all, I wanted to use kombucha in my kitchen.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, this is not good. This is sweet. This is not cool. This is. Then I kept reading. Oh, kombucha needs caffeine, needs acidity, and needs sugar. Coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee has all those.
And you like coffee.
Yeah, so take out the tea, put coffee in it. Okay, now let's work it out. Oh, coffee is a vinegar.
Yeah.
Boom. Then let's try out with things. Oh, scallops is sweet. Throw in there. Oh, this is interesting. Let's make a ponzu. And
Yeah.
it wasn't planned out. It was like, trial and error, trial and error, trial and error.
That's the best way.
So you're gonna have your scallops with coffee
Yeah.
kombucha.
Fork or spoon.
So I'm gonna tell you what I tell all my customers. in
However you
Oseille.
like it.
Any way you want, if you want to eat with your hands, if you want to drink the
I
bowl,
wanna drink the
go
bowl.
ahead.
Awesome.
The idea of
Give it a
Oseille
try.
is like, this is my gourmet kitchen.
Awesome. So I'm going to give this a shot. Deco, you have one too. You've never been here, right?
Oh my God.
You have the
You can
Chinese
have the
palate?
scallops, get up the
The
daikon.
scallops. Let's do it.
You don't like daikon.
He doesn't like vegetables.
Anything, well, it's not green, right? So maybe he'll fool himself because it's white.
Yeah, white.
Pour him?
You can taste the coffee in the vinegar. That's really delicious.
You never had this?
No. Perfect.
So you like greens then? You have a more sophisticated palate than your partner.
I don't like greens.
No, he likes the sauce and the scallops. He loves
The sauce.
protein.
Protein. I
Yeah.
can tell. I can tell. So I'm going to keep eating this while you enter this next restaurant because it's delicious. But
Very good.
And I got to tell Yuza to start making the burgers.
Wow.
So uses my right, left arms, my legs,
all of them.
all of them. He makes
15,
everything
15
happen.
years?
15 years, and he makes happen everything in the building. He's the head chef.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit more about kind of the restaurant scene in Brazil and how that's changed over the last however many years. Because again, like I find two things in Brazil. One is if you want to know what's going to be big in Brazil, look at the US 5 years ago and just wait. I think that's accelerating a bit.
It's going quicker.
But I also find that like fads are really big, especially in Sao Paulo. Like something's really big for like 6 months and then like its moment passes.
Yes.
And so how does that affect?
We were
restaurant
worried
business.
about burgers for that, but then the pandemic came and made burgers the most consumed item in delivery.
Yeah.
But you'd already been, I mean, the pandemic was 2020, right? Like you'd already
Yeah,
been
but
doing
I was
7 years.
around since 13. But I
Right,
was
so
the
like-
first burger joint in Rio if you get the next 2 years, the amount of burger joints that opened in Rio was insane. And then obviously a lot closed down.
Yeah.
Because it's normal, you open a lot, then the one that's the most structured is gonna stay. There's a lot of that in São Paulo. Now it's the ice cream craze in São Paulo. Pacha was the first. Now there's like a bunch of ice cream places.
Yeah.
São Paulo is a bit different because São Paulo is the biggest city in South America.
Yes.
São Paulo has all these influences from all over the world, from Asian to European. And the food scene in Brazil, which is cool, is 10, 15 years ago, it was my dad. And then Alexa Tala, then Helena Rizzo. It was only them. And then my generation came back, which my generation, we all went to America or to Europe to learn to cook or to hone our skills. And we all came back with our own backgrounds and experiences.
Right.
Some chefs went to Spain, others went to Denmark, others went to Italy, others went to France.
Do you have a domestic chef culture? Or
Now
it
we
tends to
do.
be- okay, now you do.
Now we do.
Right. So I'm in the
And
tech scene.
now I'm already an old generation now.
Yeah.
Because I'm 42 years old, 43, came back in 06.
Yeah.
A lot came back in 2010. Now we got the 30-year-olds that are starting their businesses.
Right, because I come from more of the consulting but tech space, right? You mentioned Deco likes tech, right? So he'll know.
I
this
like
as well.
it too, but he's more crazy about me.
But you're seeing that second, third generation of people that worked at the new banks and the e-banks. So I imagine it's the same thing at the restaurants. That the guy that trained with you went off and opened something. And,
a lot of new bars in Rio,
yeah,
the people that worked with me.
that's good. Free food for you, I hope, at least, or at least discounted.
It's good to get well treated.
It's nice to
And
be
it's
recognized.
good. No, but you know what's the best part? The best part is to see these guys that worked with me for a while, or 6 months, a year, 3 years, 4 years, and now they have their own businesses.
Yeah.
And they're thriving, and it's good food, and it's interesting. And I learned with them. One of the best phrases I've heard was my grandfather's, which he told me when I went to visit him with two chefs. He looks at me and he goes, he was 90 years old at that time, or 88. And again, like I told in the beginning, he's one of the guys who revolutionized cooking. And he looks at me and he goes, I love when you bring young chefs. I was like, why? I'm still learning about my crafts.
Yeah.
This guy who changed things, he's 90 years old, and he says he's still learning his craft. And you hear this 35-year-old or 40-year-old saying he knows everything. Like, dude, you don't know everything.
It's so I had my startup, and one of the things that we had was a beginner's mind, right? Like that, if you know the way, then you know the way, and you're not going to be open to things, right?
No.
And it's beautiful to hear that your grandfather has that.
I mean, I have my convictions. We got a couple of fights of conviction,
But you learn, right? So
but we learned.
yeah,
And I like, that's when we got our arguments, we'll argue pretty heated.
yeah,
Everyone around will be like, they're going to kill each other. 3 hours later, we're hugging each other. It's like, dude, this way is better.
No.
I got your, like, yeah, you're right about that.
you test it out, you try, you work through it. That's the best way.
And what's crazy about our company is that the other people, they're scared of me, they're scared of him,
Okay.
and they're scared to say no. Me and him is like, how long? Like, dude, I tell him, fuck off, man. I'm gonna do this right. I don't give a fuck what you're thinking. Sorry about the bad words, but
No, it's part of the adult conversation.
and same thing with him. We know. I said, dude, you're out of your fucking mind. Fuck you. I'm gonna do it like this.
Yeah.
And the rest, they look at you like, dude, you're cursing. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
We work it out. We always work it out. Always worked it out.
Like
Always.
brothers. At this point, you've been,
It's a thing about respect. People thinking we're unrespecting each other,
yeah.
but it's a thing about respect. We know how our minds work.
No, that's awesome. So this was awesome. I really liked what you talked about with the coffee. We talked before about your ketchup and the guava. What are some of the
ketchup
fusions that you're really...
It was ideal. My father was provoking me. He's like, dude, don't do a normal ketchup. Let's do a ketchup with a Brazilian thing. And then I start reading, and Jamaican cuisine uses a lot of guava paste.
Interesting. Okay.
Even in Bob Marley's songs, he says guava jelly a couple of times.
Yeah, okay.
So, and the guayaba, it looks a little bit like a
Like, it
tomato.
looks like yeah.
The seeds in it.
Mhm.
And we used to use guava paste in our kitchen for shrimp,
Okay.
and so all using pork.
Okay.
So we started developing, and it's like, oh, it's similar to a barbecue. So we did a barbecue ketchup.
Okay.
I think this thing, when it goes into America, it's gonna explode because Americans love smoky, sweet things.
Yeah. I don't like guava. I like your ketchup.
Because you like smokiness.
I do. I like a smoky scotch. I like smoky
Very
things.
American.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm very American. What are some of the other fusions that you're like really proud of, and what are the ones that maybe didn't work out that you thought?
I've done really bad dishes, man. But I mean,
but like they make sense, right? So again, alchemy, they make sense, but they don't work.
the worst part of my head is when I look at some pictures of like dishes from 2008, 9, 10, and I was like, what the hell was I thinking?
You were
Wrong
you were an arrogant 20-year-old, right? Like that's what it is.
Trying to find myself and understand
Yeah.
myself and create my style. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't be like my father. All the time, I can't be like I have to have my own style.
You gotta be
Of course, respecting tradition
Mm-hmm.
and respecting what our family has done, and using acidity.
Yeah.
Of course, we've always been in fine dining. I'm the first one to flirt with non-fine dining, which is burgers and bars.
You're doing more than flirting, I think.
Yeah.
You're having a pretty serious relationship.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, try and error. And once my father one day told me, use your closest customers, clients, to try your new dishes.
Yeah.
And my wife also, she'll say the truth into my face. So, and as long as the criticism is constructive,
Yeah.
I can always be better.
Where's the TT group going?
So first of all, into your stomach.
Awesome. This is amazing.
Yeah,
So I do
they're all
want to
the
know where
same.
TT's Burger is going, but let's take advantage
So
of the
the
fact
whole
that this came out.
idea is to expand delivery, new stores, franchise, new brands possibly.
Okay.
I love tacos, for example.
I also love tacos.
love
I am
tacos.
happy to talk to you about
Hot
Mexico
dogs.
I love
anytime.
shawarmas. I like hot dogs.
I love it. Okay. Very cool. I think there's some really brilliant things. Do you see like a correct number of stores? Like as you look at Brazil, Deco, maybe this is more of a business question.
Each store we have 4 stores inside, right?
Right.
So we don't imagine 1,000 store like the other chains because it could kill some franchisers. And we believe in perhaps 200, 300 with 4 to 6 brands operating inside.
Okay.
So if you have 300 stores, we
Times
can
6.
have 1,000.
There's a thing about humans also that food-wise, it has to be easy, but not too easy to order. There's something about, I want it, but I can't get it.
Yes.
Yeah. Otherwise it becomes McDonald's or Subway.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I really admire
It's
that
not
about
so
what you guys have
easy.
shared, both with the staff as well as with the people.
Yes.
That's really amazing. I'm really happy that cheese is staying melty, like you mentioned.
Like you see how it is, it's not
Yeah.
rubbery. The whole
It's
thing is
not
about
rubbery.
becoming rubbery after.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I really like the blend.
I'm going to ask you about this cheese because I.
Over the years, the blend has changed.
Okay.
Of course, because of necessity and because of economics. But there's one thing we've always been true to it is the 23% of fat in the blend. We never changed that. So the flavor might change a little bit. He drives me nuts when we change our blend because he comes. It's the same thing. Like, dude, it's never gonna be the
The
same
economics
thing.
changed.
It's never gonna be the same. It's gonna be
Messes
either
with his spreadsheet.
it's either gonna be really good as or better.
Yeah.
Never worse. You never went to worse.
Yes.
Well, it was delicious. I
Just
always-
upgrade, not downgrade.
No.
And one thing I learned with him and his father was when they entered the company, Tomas, you're gonna do sourcing again for the beef.
Okay.
And I approved one, and he didn't like it, but he never told me. And then his dad calls me, him and his dad. Tomás, my dad wants to talk to you. I was like, okay. Luis, how may I help you? What do you need? Why did you approve this burger? Because you told me to approve a new blend.
Yeah.
You told me I had to source a new blend, so I'm sourced a new blend. But why did you approve it? Do you think this one's better? No, it's good.
No, it's not better.
It's good. Tomás, you didn't answer my question.
Is it better?
Do you think it's better? It's good. Is it better? It's cheaper. It's cheaper. You never again gonna approve a burger knowing the price before. Understood? You have to see flavor first. You test it, you taste it. Once you're done and you're approved, you throw it to the CFO, and it's his problem to
deal with
price
it.
Yeah. I'm like, all right.
Awesome. No, delicious. It's been a long time since I've had a TT burger. It is awesome. I always like to end my episodes by asking a couple questions. So the name of the podcast is the famous Tom Jobim quote, Brazil isn't for beginners. What does that mean to the two of you? It sounds like it means a lot. So go for it.
Yeah.
The first thing is every entrepreneur
Yeah.
is a lunatic in Brazil.
Absolutely.
Because in
Make it
Brazil,
hard for
for
businesses.
years, we've been saying that entrepreneurs are bad people.
Okay.
We're the ones that are paid bad. We're the ones, but we're taxed like up into our head. I mean,
The fully loaded cost of employment in Brazil is more than double the salary, right? Like in the US, it's 1.2, right? Like
so if you cost me 4,000
if I'm paying you 4,000 reais, I'm
8,000
paying
actually.
8,000. I'm paying more than 8,000 reais, right? Like people don't understand that the tax burden, right? And it goes to social benefits and things like that, but it's a lot.
I mean, that's what they say.
Yeah. And it also might go to somebody's Porsche Cayenne, but we won't get into
It
that.
goes for, Porsche Cayenne and the airplanes and
Yeah.
everything.
But so Brazil is not for beginners. What does the expression mean to you?
It means that you gotta be resilient. It means you gotta be on top of your game. It means you gotta be surrounded by really good people. They're gonna look into taxes and to where you can like make more money.
And Deco. What does Brazil is not for beginners? What does the expression mean to you?
You must have courage to do it here
Okay.
every day.
Yeah.
But it's reserve many opportunities.
Yeah.
And if you're ready to Brazil, you're ready to the world.
I also like to ask, and Tomas, you've had a lot of international experience.
Yep.
Deco, you've obviously been exposed as well, but is there like a Brazilian habit or a Brazilian expression that you really love? I always talk about...
Jeitinho.
Oh, jeitinho.
Jeitinho is a word that only exists here.
Yeah.
It's impossible to translate that to anyone.
No, é jeitinho.
I mean, for me, jeitinho translates to what I learned with Thomas Keller, make it happen.
Yeah.
But it's a make it happen a little bit different than make it happen in America.
Yeah.
In America, I think it's by the books. Here, I'm not saying it's by the books. I'm saying you can always bend the law, not break the law. There's always,
A lot of gray area.
Yeah.
I love it. That's a good one. It's come up before, but I like your expression for it.
Yes. Jeitinho means when you sweat in Brazil, you depends on others to go well, to succeed. In America, just depends almost of you to get succeed. And I think the jeitinho is when you make something that convince others that they need to succeed with you. We must do it here.
Yeah.
In other
make it
places,
happen.
no.
Make it happen.
Yes.
There's two words in Portuguese that all the other language, they don't have a word for it.
Yeah.
So make it happen, the jeitinho, and I miss you, saudade.
Saudade.
We have a word for it. That word doesn't exist in Spanish, doesn't exist in French.
Saudade was the one I learned coming
Saudade.
to Brazil.
Yeah.
To have saudade, to have like this longing, but like a loving melancholy.
Yeah.
miss
It's a
you.
beautiful
Yes.
word, yeah. It's I miss you.
Yes.
But you, it's a phrase. In French,
Yeah.
it's a phrase.
Yeah.
Tu me manques. There's no word for it. And what I love about Brazil is how, even though with the difficulties of the country and for being a business person or even living from
Yeah, we were talking about it before.
everyone is happy.
Yeah.
We know how to have fun. And a tough thing for me living there in New York, and I consider myself a 1/3 New Yorker because I spent 10 years there. It's that, I mean, I lived in the building with my parents, a 30-story building. I came down in the elevator every morning with the same person. The person never looked at my face and never said hi.
Yeah.
Here, you walk on the street, anyone, you say hi.
Yeah, my son does that.
You say
He
hi to
loves
the
say
fucking
hi.
tree here, man. And you hug,
Yeah.
and you touch, and there's none of that in America or in France, in Europe.
Yeah.
It's more cold.
How can people follow you? How can people find you, taste your food, know what
So
you're up
to
to?
taste my food, either come to Rio.
Yep.
I got burger joints in my restaurants, French beef, steakhouse, fine dining or casual. The burgers, they're in 5 cities in Brazil: São Paulo, Brasília, more than 5.
São Paulo, Brasília, Porto Alegre, Curitiba, Vitória, BH,
Goiânia.
Goiânia.
Some more.
Yes.
You're growing more than you even
And
know.
or
Yes.
follow me
Okay.
on my Instagram, TT. It's double T in my last name, Troisgros.
I'm not going to try to pronounce it again. I'm going to get it wrong.
And sometimes I'm in America cooking. I do every 2 years. I do a charity dinner in the Gotham Hall in New York City
Amazing.
for a hospital here in Brazil called Little Prince.
Very cool.
It's the biggest South American research hospital for kids.
Very cool. Congratulations on that.
And sometimes I cook in Miami. Sometimes I cook in LA.
Do you share it on Insta?
I usually always share on my Instagram where I'm
Awesome.
going.
So if people want to follow, they can
Yes.
find you there,
Or come to Rio.
which they should do anyway.
Yes, it's
a great
an
place.
amazing town.
Yes. I could ask, why you live in Brazil of all the places, but
Born and raised, lived in New York City, but Rio is Rio, man.
yeah.
I lived in Spain. I mean, again, Rio is Rio. It's different.
And Deco, how do people follow you?
Eu falo Deco Meisler, Instagram. And I don't put my face as Tomás do because he's the face of the business. And
He's
the
the pretty one.
genius, sorry,
He's the pretty one.
sure. But you can follow me at Deco Meisler in Instagram.
Are you active
Excellent.
in LinkedIn? No.
No, not at all.
Instagram. Brazil's big in Instagram.
Yeah, we're doing more and more there. But guys, thanks so much. This was awesome. Great conversation. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed. Guys,
Thanks for coming and chatting with us.
Thank you very much.
I won. I got wine and burgers.
Interesting in what we have
Yeah,
to say.
I got wine and burgers. I win. Even if nobody watches this, I won. So, victory for me. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Guys,
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.